So good morning all my dear students. Now I'll be going with the next module, that is the last module, module 4, infinite series and power series solution. So in the previous module we had studied about partial differential equations, and in this module it's all about finite series and infinite series, and also power series solutions. Okay, so this module most of the times will be having lot of derivations. Okay, but the first part, that is which I'm doing now, it's all about the problems. Like they have given you a function, how will you test, or they have given you some function, how will you test whether it's convergent or divergent. Okay, that is what we are studying here in this first part. So this before I'll just go through some of the definitions which you have already known. Okay, so what is this infinite series? It is nothing but the sum of the infinite numbers of terms, correct? Now if you write 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus so on, that is a infinite series. But what is sequence? See, there is a lot of difference between sequence and series, correct? Sequence of numbers, sequence of odd numbers, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, all these are simply sequence of numbers. But if I simply write it as 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9, then it is what? Sum of odd numbers, correct? That is the difference between sequence and series, or series of odd numbers, summation of odd numbers. Okay, sequence means we have to just write the numbers 1 comma 2 comma 3 4 5 so on up to infinity, sequence of number, correct? So if you add that, that is sum of numbers. Okay, so summation of this infinite terms is known as infinite series. Summation means if there is no significant change in the sum and more terms get added up, which is the concept of convergence, means if you go on adding, it will get converged to a single term, that is summation. Okay, don't worry, once when I start with the problems you'll understand. So here are some of the following definitions. Yes, if un is a function of n defined for the integer values of n, an expression of the form, see here, adding u1 plus u2 plus u3 plus so on up to un, contains infinite number of terms, is called as infinite series and is usually denoted as summation from where it is starting. Take this as n. See, n is starting from 1, correct? So summation n equal to 1 up to where? Which term? Up to infinity. So summation n equal to 1 to infinity un, or simply we tell it as summation of un. Okay, or simply we tell it as summation of un, where un is called as the nth term which is generated for the infinite series, and the sum of the first n terms in the series is denoted by Sn, or sum of the series Sn is equal to u1 plus u2 plus u3 plus so on up to un. This is sum of the nth term, first nth term, not sum of the infinite term. Nth term means it will stop at some point, that is nth term of the series. Clear? Next, see, this is very important here, convergence and divergence. A series summation of un is said to be convergence if its limit n tending to infinity, Sn is what? Nth term is equal to L, where L is some finite quantity. Okay, means if we get some finite number, then we tell that it is convergent, the given series is convergent. And if summation un is said to be divergent if n tending to infinity, Sn is equal to plus or minus infinity. So if we get plus or minus infinity, then we tell it as the given series is divergence. Okay, convergence means we will get some finite value, divergence means you will get some infinite values, or means infinite values. This is a general definition of convergence and divergence. Next, how to test whether the given series is convergent or divergent? So this for this we have to discuss two type of infinite series for the positive terms. So when we apply the test, the conclusion does not alter that if the few terms are omitted at the beginning of the series, as the nature of the series is determined by only the remaining infinite number of terms. Okay, so you don't worry, once when I start with the problems you will get an idea. So to test for the convergence of positive terms, we have two types. One is Cauchy's root test and one more is D'Albert's root test. Okay, so these are the two tests which we normally use generally to check whether the given series is convergence or divergence. So your one problem in your exam will be based on either of these methods. Okay, module 4, one question, either it will be Cauchy's or it will be D-Elmers. And one more thing, my dear students, they will never tell you that you apply Cauchy's root test or you apply D-Elmers ratio test. No, they'll just tell you test whether the series is convergence or divergence. It is left to you which method you apply. Okay, once when I start explaining the problems, you will get an idea which method will be suitable for the problem. Okay, first I'll go with the Cauchy's root test. So what we have to do here is, if summation un is a series of positive terms, and if limit of n tending to infinity un to the power 1 by n is equal to L, means we'll get a finite value as I defined, then the series is said to be convergent if that value of L is strictly less than 1. This point is very important. Okay, and it is divergence if the value of L is what? Greater than 1. And if it is equal to 1, then we can tell that the test fails. So what you have to do, they have given you some un, correct? They will give you some value of un. For that un, you raise it to the power 1 by n. Okay, then you simplify it, and if you get this value as something like 0.1, 0.5, 0.8 and all, which is strictly less than 1, then it is convergent. If this value of L is greater than 1, if you get 1.5, 2, 2.5 and all, then it is simply divergent. If you get probably equal to 1, then it is what? Test fails. Okay, so what is the method here? You have to just raise it to the power 1 by n. Whatever value they give, you just raise it to the power 1 by n and try to simplify. Okay, and one more thing, here is some important note, and my dear students, my suggestion is, please write this in your notes book. This is very important. Okay, we can try to apply this test if un is of the form, see here, if un is of the form this fn to the power gn, means if you have something like this format, then this method is applicable. Okay, and the following standard limits will be useful. Which are the standard limits? First one, limit n tending to infinity, n to the power 1 by n is always equal to 1. Means if you get something like this, you can close your eyes and write it as 1. Important note, my dear students, please write this in your notes. This is very important. Not only now, even when you apply for any of the competitive exams, all this will be useful. Okay, next, limit n tending to infinity, 1 plus 1 by n to the power n is always equal to e, exponential value. You no need to worry how do we get this and all, but it's a standard value. Limit n tending to infinity, remember that also, 1 plus 1 by n to the power n is always equal to e. And one more thing, limit n tending to infinity, 1 plus x by n to the power n is what? E to the power x. See, if you have 1 here, you will write 1, e power 1. If you have x here, you will write e to the power x. Okay, so these standard limits will be using in the problems. And when can you apply Cauchy's root test? If the given function is of this form, something to the power n, then we can apply Cauchy's root test. Means easily we can simplify it, that's why. Okay, now I'll go with the problems, you will get an idea. So here I have my first problem. Find the nature of the series summation, you forget about the summation, don't worry. Okay, a to the power n square x to the power n. So which root test is applied? Cauchy's is applicable because we have something to the power n here, correct? See here, a to the power n square and x to the power n. So first what you do is, you call this as un. Okay, see here, by data you write un is equal to a to the power n square into x to the power n. Yes, next what is the procedure? Before taking the limits, you have to apply to the you have to raise it to the power how much? 1 by n. So un to the power 1 by n will be equal to a to the power n square to the power 1 by n into x to the power n to the power 1 by n. Clear? Now cancel one n here, and also n and n will get cancelled. So I'll get a to the power n into x. Fine. Now what to do? You apply the limits. So as limit of un, limit n tending to infinity, un to the power 1 by n is equal to limit n tending to infinity, a power n into x. Okay, so what will I get? We'll get 0, because a power n, when it becomes infinity, it will be what? A to the power infinity. But a to the power infinity is what actually? Actually a to the power infinity is a very large number, provided that a was greater than 1. But they have given you some condition here, a is less than 1. Less than 1 means what? 0.99, 0.8, 0.00 or less than that values, correct? So remember one thing, my dear students, whenever the value of any value is less than 1 and if it is raised to infinity, it will always become 0. This point is very important. I hope you are clear. Because of this condition, this is becoming 0. A means, see, you can use calculator. You can take 0.9 to the power 100. Infinity means large number, no? Correct, n is infinity, correct, n tends to infinity. You take 0.8 to the power 200. So that time it will almost become 0. That's why this value is 0 into x is 0. Clear? So it is 0. So if it is 0, what I can tell whether the test is convergent or divergent or test fails? 0 is less than 1 or greater than 1? 0 is less than 1. So what is that? The test is convergent. Therefore by Cauchy's root test, the test is convergent. That's it. See, easily these type of problems, they'll ask for 6 marks. Easily we can score 6 marks. So but you have to be very careful when to apply which method. If you are having something to the power n and all, no, then it is always better to go for Cauchy's root test. Okay. Next problem. Yes. Test for the convergence, summation n equal to infinity, something to the power n square. Again, to the power something is there. So I can always go for Cauchy's root test. So first thing what you have to do, call this as what? Un. So from data, un is equal to 1 plus 1 by n to the power n square. Next what you have to do, raise it to the power 1 by n. So un to the power 1 by n is 1 plus 1 by n to the power n square to the power 1 by n. N and n we can cancel. What is the standard value? 1 plus 1 by n to the power n. Say I said you to make a note of that important, the note whatever I said you it is important, and I said you to write it in the notes, correct? So in that note we have this. What is 1 plus 1 by n to the power n? It is always e. Standard value e. So what is the value of e? 2.7, which is strictly greater than 1. If the value is greater than 1, then what I can tell? The test is divergence. Correct? See here. Therefore by Cauchy's root test, the test is divergent. That's it. Hope you are clear with the concept. Okay. Next problem. Okay. Same. Test for the convergence. N plus 1 by n plus 1 whole divided by n to the power n square 1 by 3 to the power n. Now which test would be better? So if you have to the power something, it is always better to go for Cauchy's root test. Okay, d elements is something different. Okay, once when it comes to that, I'll explain you, don't worry. Now by data, what is un? N plus 1 divided by n whole to the power n square into 1 by 3 power n. First what I'll do is I'll simplify this. This n now divided by n, that I'll split to the both the terms in the numerator. So n by n is what? 1 plus 1 by n and to the power n square and into 1 by 3 to the power n. Now raise this un to the power 1 by n. So when I raise that, see here, for numerator I have raised 1 by n and for denominator I have raised by 1 by n. So here 1n will get cancelled. So I'll get 1 plus 1 by n to the power n, and here n and n will get cancelled. I'll get 3. Correct? Are you clear with the step? Yes. Now what to do? Take limits. As limit n tends to infinity, un to the power 1 by n will become limit n tending to infinity 1 plus 1 by n to the power n. What is this? Limit n tending to infinity 1 plus 1 by n to the power n. Is it not the standard value? Yes. What is that standard value? E. So e by 3. So 2.7 divided by 3. So just you can use calculator. Okay. You can just press shift and ln, you will get e. Just press e divided by 3. You will get some value which is strictly less than 1. Whenever it is less than 1, what is it? The test is convergent or divergent. If it is less than 1, it is always convergent. Therefore by Cauchy's root test, un is convergent. Okay, is it clear? Yes. One more. Summation n equal to 1 to infinity 1 plus 1 by root n to the power minus n to the power 3 by 2. First what is un? You write down. Un is 1 plus 1 by root n to the power minus n to the power 3 by 2. Okay, next, raise it to the power 1 by n. Okay, I have raised to the power 1 by n. Now the challenge for you students is to simplify this. See, I have a question now. 1 plus 1 by n to the power n was always e, correct? Now my question is, what is 1 plus 1 by root n to the power root n? You got it what I am telling? See, 1 plus 1 by n to the power n was e only, correct? What is 1 plus 1 by root n to the power root n? We'll come to know that. Okay, don't worry. Now, what did I do first? So, minus sign as it is, n to the power 3 by 2 divided by n is there. So, divided by n means what will happen? So, 3 by 2 minus 1 it will become, so it will become 1 by 2. Correct simplification. See, this n you divide it here, divided by n. So, n to the power 1 is there. If I take it to the numerator, it will become 3 by 2 minus 1. So, 3 by 2 minus 1 is how much? 1 by 2. I will get minus n to the power 1 by 2. What is n to the power 1 by 2 always? It is simply root n. See here, minus root n. Proper? This minus sign as it is, n to the power 1 by 2, I have written it as root n. Okay, now I will take limits. Yes, limit n tending to infinity, 1 plus 1 by root n to the power minus root n. Now what is this value? Yes, see here. That's what I said to you, important point will come here. Limit n tending to infinity. See, x to the power minus 1 is what? 1 second my dear students, I'll just write it. I'm giving you an example. What is x to the power minus 1? It is simply 1 by x, correct? So if you just check here, x to the power minus 1, I can write it as 1 by x. If it is x to the power minus 2 here, 1 by x square. Same way here, take this whole term as x to the power minus of something is there. So I can write it as 1 by x to the power that power, whatever is there here. Correct? Now, what is the standard value? 1 plus 1 by root n to the power root n. That is always e. Irrespective of root n or irrespective of n, whatever it is there, you don't worry, it is simply e. Even if you have 1 plus 1 by n square to the power n square, it is also e. Even if you have 1 plus 1 by n to the power n and n to the power n here, it is always e. You don't worry. If you have same terms over here, whether it is n square, n cube, whatever it is always e only. So 1 by e, again obviously it will be strictly less than 1, and this is important problem my dear students. Strictly less than 1, therefore the test is what? Convergent. That's it. Clear? So I'll just recall it once again. I had minus n to the power 3 by 2, I am raising it to the power 1 by n. So when you divide by n here, n to the power 1 it will become. When it goes to numerator, it will become n to the power minus 1. So 3 by 2 minus 1 is 1 by 2. This n to the power 1 by 2, I have written it as how? Root n. So x to the power minus 1 is 1 by x. So take this term as x to the power minus some. Okay, one more problem my dear students. You can try to solve this by yourself. N plus 1 to the power n, x to the power n divided by n to the power n plus 1. How to do it? Okay, first thing is what you have to take it as un. Okay, un you take. Then raise it to the power 1 by n. See here. Separately for each part you raise it to the power 1 by n. Done. So numerator no problem at all. N and n will get cancelled. Here also n and n will get cancelled. So I'll get n plus 1 to the power x. Now denominator, my dear students, please be careful. So it is like n plus 1 to the power 1 by n means what? Divided by n. Correct? So when you divide by n here, you divide that n to both the terms here. So you'll get n by n as 1 plus 1 by n. So then what is a to the power, okay, n to the power a plus b, it is n to the power a into n to the power b. I hope you know this property. Okay. So to the powers, always powers will get what? Added, correct? If you want, I'll just show you. X to the power a into x to the power b is always equal to x to the power a plus b. Okay. uh, so always remember one thing, my dear students, x to the power a plus into x to the power b is always equal to x to the power a plus b. Whenever the powers are added, we can multiply it. Same way here, n to the power 1 plus n to the power 1 by n, I can write as n to the power 1 into n to the power 1 by n. Clear? Okay. Now what to do? That is my question. Some standard value is there, correct, I agree, but how to apply it? Before applying, see how I simplify here. I have taken limits, fine, but see, the standard value is 1 plus 1 by n to the power 1 by n, correct, to the power n. So here n is there. In order to cancel that, in the numerator you take n outside. So what will remain? 1 plus 1 by n into x divided by n into n to the power 1 by n. Cancel n and n here. What will remain? 1 plus 1 by n divided by n to the power 1 by n to the power into x. So then limit I have taken separately, fine. This is a standard limit, the denominator. What is limit n tending to infinity n to the power 1 by n? It is always 1. Then here we apply the limits. 1 as it is plus, what is 1 by infinity? 1 by infinity is always 0. Okay, so in order to get that n to the denominator, what did I do in the numerator? I took n outside. I wrote it as 1 plus 1 by n. So that 1 by n is always 0. 1 by infinity is always 0. So 1 plus 0 into x divided by 1. So 1 and 1 will get cancelled. I will get x. Correct? Now, what conclusion will you give here? See, I don't know what is this x, correct? That x may be greater than 1, that x may be less than 1, or that x may be 0. So you have to write this as, since therefore Cauchy's root test is convergent if this value of x is less than 1, divergent if it is greater than 1, and test fails if x is equal to 1. Because they have not defined you what is that x in the problem, correct? So you let that x be as it is, you write all the three possibilities here, that's it. Okay, so simplification steps are very important here, my dear students. Go through it carefully, it's very easy. Once if you have understood, you can easily solve any type of problem whatever they give here. Okay, and remember one thing, if you have something like this n plus 1 by n plus 1 into x, what did I do here? I have taken n outside. So when I take n outside, what will remain here? 1 plus 1 by n. Okay, cancel that n and n here. So when you apply the limits, 1 plus 1 by infinity. Okay, so that were all the problems on Cauchy's root test. So now I have D'Alembert root test, ratio test, or we call it as root test. Okay, so here see what is the method first. If summation un is a series of positive terms, and here the condition is this one, instead of raising to the power n, we are writing it as limit n tending to infinity un plus 1 divided by un is equal to L. What is that L again? Same condition. If L is less than 1, it is convergent. If L is greater than 1, it is divergent. And if it is equal to 1, it is test fail. But only difference is, in Cauchy's root test, we directly raise it to the power 1 by n. But in D'Alembert's, we what to do? We will write it as un plus 1 divided by un. That is the difference. Okay, we are not raising to anything. We are just writing it as un plus 1 divided by un. Okay. Yes. First problem. See here. Test for the convergence of the series. See, normally, whenever they give this series, it is always better to go for D'Alembert's root test. Means they have not given you un directly here, correct? If you check in Cauchy's root test, they used to give me un directly, means summation and all they used to give me directly. But here they have not given me the nth term, but they have given me the series. So if they have given you series, what I have to do? We have to write the nth term of the series. What will be the nth term of the series here? So if you check here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I can write? But the powers are same here, correct? 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So numerator you check, I can write it as n to the power 2, n square. Am I right? So that n is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on, square. And denominator, how I can write? 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2, 2 to the power 3, 2 to the power 4. So it is simply 2 to the power n. So what will be your nth term? So here un will be equal to, see here, n square divided by 2 to the power n. Am I right? So that n, if you take 1, 2, 3, so on, you will get these terms. Proper? You understood how to write the nth term? Okay. Now we shall apply which one? D'Alembert root test. See why? See, can I apply Cauchy's here? If you write n square to the power 1 by n, how will you simplify? Denominator is okay, we can simplify. But numerator, what you will do? If you raise it to the power 1 by n, how you can simplify? Not possible. So in this case, we always go for D'Alembert's root test. Now what is this D'Alembert's root test tell you? We have to get un plus 1 and then divide by un. So you know what is un. So can you tell me what is un plus 1 here? So if you want to get un plus 1 here, what you have to do? Wherever n is there, you have to write what? N plus 1. So I'll just write it. So un plus 1 is equal to, see here in the place of n I have taken n plus 1 the whole square divided by 2 to the power n plus 1. So how do we write it? By changing n as n plus 1. Okay. Next what to do? Un plus 1 divided by un. So un plus 1 divided by un is equal to, so what is un plus 1? N plus 1 the whole square divided by 2 to the power n plus 1 divided by un is there. What is un? N square divided by 2 to the power n. If I just take it to the numerator, what it will come? 2 to the power n divided by n square. Hope you are clear with this step, my dear students. See, this divided by 2n divided by n square will be there, correct? So that 2n divided by n square, if you take it to the numerator, it will become, sorry, n square divided by 2 to the power n. If you take it to the numerator, it will become 2 to the power n divided by n square. Okay. Then what to do? We have to simplify this. How to simplify? See, this 2 to the power n plus 1, how I can write it? 2 to the power n into 2 to the power 1, correct? So 2 to the power n will get cancelled. So 2 will remain here, fine. And here what will remain? N plus 1 the whole square divided by n square is there. Done. Now, see, when I apply the limits, I know that 1 by n, if it is there, it will become 0, correct? 1 by n or 1 by infinity is 0. So somehow I need to get n to the denominator here. So what I can do? Can I take n outside from the numerator? Yes. So next step, see here, when I apply the limits, in the numerator I have taken n outside, 1 plus 1 by n the whole square divided by n square. Are you clear with this step, my dear students? See, this step normally in all the problems we come across, okay? So what did I do? I wanted to get n in the denominator because 1 by n, 1 by infinity will always give me 0. So I have taken n outside here within the square. So n into 1 plus 1 by n the whole square divided by n square. So when you square it, n square will get cancelled. Only 1 plus 1 by n the whole square will remain. See here. Square it. Next step, n square will get cancelled. So only 1 plus 1 by n square will remain. Now if I apply the limits n tending to infinity, what is 1 by infinity? 0. So it will be 1 by 2 into 1 plus 0 the whole square. So I will simply get 1 by 2, which is strictly less than 1. So less than 1 means what? It is always convergent. Okay. Are you clear with this problem, my dear students? So initially, whenever they give you this type of series, it is always better to go for D'Alembert's root test. So before going with the problem, I should know what is my nth term. So how to get the nth term here? Un is equal to, so first check the numerator. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on. So it will be directly n. And what is there in the power? Square. So n square divided by, denominator if you check, base is same 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, but powers it will get increased 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. So 2 to the power n. Then we apply D'Alembert's ratio test. If you want to apply that ratio test, what is the formula? We have to get un plus 1 divided by un. So what is un in this case? N square divided by 2 to the power n. What will be un plus 1? N plus 1 the whole square divided by 2 to the power n plus 1. Next, un plus 1 divided by un means whatever un is there, no, you just multiply it as reciprocal. So if it is n square by 2 to the power n, it will become 2 to the power n divided by n square. Then 1 2 to the power n will get cancelled, only 2 will remain here. Okay. Next step, somehow if I apply the limit, this n I should get it to the denominator. So what to do? Take n outside. So n into 1 plus 1 by n the whole square. So n square will get cancelled. So only 1 plus 1 by n the whole square will remain. If we apply the limit here, 1 by infinity is 0. So only 1 by 2 will remain. 1 by 2 is less than 1. Therefore the test is convergent. That's it. Okay. Here I have my next problem, my dear students. Can you just identify what is un here? Try to guess un here. I think it is easy. Try to do it by yourself. What will be un here? Check the numerator first. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. First write 3. Raise it to the power how much? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 to the power n. That is your numerator. Fine. Denominator. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4 as it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 to the power n. Plus 1 is there in all the terms. So plus 1 you add. So un will be simply 3 to the power n divided by 4 to the power n plus 1. Finished. Easy. Now what to do? Can I go for my Cauchy's root test here? It is impossible. Why? Check the denominator. If you raise it to the power 1 by n, what is 4 to the power n plus 1 whole to the power 1 by n? Not possible. So it is always better to go for D'Alembert root test. So what is your D'Alembert root test? We have to write down what is un plus 1. How to get un plus 1? Wherever n is there, just replace it by n plus 1. I have done. Now what to do? You divide un plus 1 divided by un. So un plus 1 divided by un. So this is my un plus 1 into un. 1 by un is nothing but numerator, denominator you write it as numerator, and numerator you write it in the denominator. So it will be 4 power n plus 1 divided by 3 power n. So if you check here, 1 3 power n will get cancelled, correct? Easily it will get cancelled. 3 will remain here first. Yeah, 3 is remain. Then I will go for 4 power n plus 1 divided by 4 power n plus 1 plus 1. Now what to do? Tell me. See, whatever it is there, my n should be always there in the denominator. So my numerator I will take 4 power n outside. So what will I get here? 1 plus 1 by 4 power n. But denominator what to do? This is important. Check properly. Yes. So numerator I have taken 4 power n outside, and denominator I have taken 4 power n plus 1 outside. So I will get 1 plus 1 by 4 power n, 1 plus 1 by 4 to the power n plus 1. Correct? Now if you apply the limits, what is 1 by infinity? 0. What is 1 by infinity? 0. Fine. But here, this 4 power n plus 1, how I can write it? 4 power n into 4 power 1. So 4 power n will get cancelled. 1 by 4 will remain here. So what will I get here finally? So 3 by 4, and when I apply the limits, 1 plus 0 divided by 1 plus 0. So finally I will get 3 by 4, which is strictly less than 1. Therefore the test is convergent. Clear? See, whatever it is, you in this method, no. Always we have to get it into the denominator. So in the numerator, first thing is 4 power n you write outside. In the denominator you write 4 power n plus 1 outside. That's it. So when you do that, see here, obviously it will get into the denominator. So 1 by infinity, it is always 0. See here. Same way here, 1 by infinity, it is always 0. Okay. And here, 4 power n divided by 4 power n plus 1. 4 power n will get cancelled, only 4 will remain in the denominator. Clear? Okay. Next problem. Yes. Find the nature of the series. See, this is a quite important problem. 2 by 3 plus 2 into 3 divided by 3 into 5 plus 2, 3, 4 divided by 3, 5, 7 plus what will be the next term? 2, 3, 4, 5 divided by 3, 5, 7, 9. Correct? And so on. Now tell me how to write the nth term for this series. See, if you write un here, problem is done. Maximum marks will be provided for un. 2 or 3 marks will be there if you just write un properly. 2 marks. Okay? Yes. So here it is observed that the nth term of the series contains nth term both in numerator as well as denominator, correct? Which is nothing but we call it as arithmetic progression. This arithmetic progression, geometric series and all you have studied in your 8th standard or 9th standard, correct? So how to write the nth term here? That is the question, correct? So see here, 2, 3, 4, so on up to what will be the nth term? See, if you check the first term properly here, it is starting from 2, it is not starting from 1. Am I right? So you simply cannot write it as only n here. If you write it as n, it will start from 1 here. So it is starting from 2, I should write n plus 1. So what is n? If you take n is equal to 1 here, summation n equal to 1 to infinity, correct? So take n equal to 1. 1 plus 1, 2. And denominator how to write? So 3 into 5 into 7, that is fine, okay. It is 3 here. So can you write n plus 2? No. Why? See what is there after 3. After 3 what is there? 5. After 5 what is there? 7. So I should get only odd terms. So take it as 2n plus 1. See, if you write n plus 1, I'll get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, correct? So take n equal to 1, 2. Take n equal to 2. 2 plus 1, 3. Take n equal to 3. 3 plus 1, 4. But here if you check, I want 3. After 3 I should get 5. After 5 I should get 7, correct? So what should I write the nth term? So we should write it as, if you write only n plus 2 here, instead of 2n plus 1, if you write n plus 2, what will happen? What will happen here? So n plus 2, take n equal to 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, fine. Take n equal to 2. 2 plus 2 will be 4. But I want 5 here. So I should write it as 2n plus 1. Now take n equal to 1. 2 into 1, 2. 2 plus 1, 3. Take n equal to 2. 2 into 2, 4. 4 plus 1, 5. Take n equal to 3. 2 into 3, 6. 6 plus 1, 7. Correct? So this is the way how we have to identify the nth term. Okay. Or another way how they have done is, you can write it as 2 plus n minus 1. Or that is simply n plus 1. And then here 3 plus n minus 1 into 2. See, this is bit confusing, so I don't expect this. You directly write this. First write what? Whatever is there here you write. 2, 3, 4 divided by 3, 5, 7. So on you write. Then check the numerator first. So after 2 I have 3, after 3 I have 4. It is a series. So but starting number is 2. So you have to start from n plus 1. You have to add 1. Because your summation will start from summation n equal to 1 to infinity, correct? So if I take n equal to 1 here, it should become 2. So I should get n plus 1. But if you check your denominator, it is like 3 into 5 into 7 into so on. So it's like I should get odd terms, correct? So odd terms I'll get if I get only 2n plus 1. So it is simply 2n plus 1. Clear? Okay. Now you got un. How to write un plus 1? So if you want, you can check here, wherever n is there I have replaced by n plus 1. Even in the denominator 2 times n plus 1, and this plus 1 is there as it is, so I have written as it is. So it will become 2 into 3 into 4 up to n plus 2 divided by, you multiply this 2 to both the terms, 2n plus 2 plus 1, it will become 3, 2n plus 3. This is your n plus un plus 1. Now I will get un plus 1 divided by un. Oh sorry, yeah, un plus 1, it is not completed actually. So one more thing my dear students, don't just simply write n plus 2 as they have written here. This is just for explanation I have written. Actually see, this is un and then n plus 1th term, so it will be n plus 2 divided by 2n plus 3, correct? See, up to here it was un. What will be un plus 1? One more term I have to write. Plus 1 means one term extra. So it will become n plus 2 divided by 2n plus 3. Wherever n is there, if you replace, you will get this term. Now I will go for that by un. See here, this is my un plus 1, correct? Divided by un means what? Un means you have to write in reciprocal. I have written in reciprocal. So what will happen? 3, 5, 7 up to 2n plus 1 will get cancelled. Same way here, 2, 3, 4 and 2, 3, 4 will get cancelled. See, this will get cancelled. So what is remaining? Only n plus 2 divided by 2n plus 3. Proper? Now for this you apply the limits. So limit I have applied. What did I tell you? Always this n should be in the denominator. So you write it as how? Take n outside here. So I'll get 1 plus 2 by n. And here if you want you can take 2n outside or n outside, that depends on you. So I've taken n outside, 2 plus 3 by n. Cancel n and n here. If you apply infinity, 2 by infinity is 0, 3 by infinity is 0. So only 1 by 2 will remain. 1 by 2 which is strictly less than 1. So the test is what? Yes. Discuss the nature of the series x divided by 1 into 2, x square divided by 2 into 3 plus x cube divided by 3 into 4. Okay, so numerator, can you write the nth term easily? Yes, what is that? X power n. No problem. But how will you write the denominator? Tell me properly. See here, first you check for this 1, 2, 3. So is it not simply n? N into what? I should get 2, 3, 4. So if you want to get 2, 3, 4, what I should write? N plus 1. Is it not simply x to the power n divided by n into n plus 1? See here, yes. Numerator is x power n. Denominator, see first check for this 1 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on. So it is simply n. And next term if you check here, 2, after that it is 3, after that it is 4, after that it will be 5. So it is starting from 2, so it will be n plus 1. Clear? Okay. Now what will be un plus 1? Wherever n is there, you just replace by n plus 1. X to the power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1 into n plus 2. Wherever n is there, I have replaced by n plus 1. Clear? Now un plus 1 divided by un. This is my un plus 1. X to the power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1 into n plus 2. Divided by un means it will become reciprocal. So whatever is there in the numerator, I have written in the denominator. So just check here, x power n was numerator, I have written in the denominator. N into n plus 1 here. What will get cancelled? N plus 1 will get cancelled here. Am I right? So n plus 1 and n plus 1 will get cancelled. So what is remaining? Only n and even the denominator, if you check, 1 n power 1 x power n will get cancelled. Am I right? So 1 x power n will get cancelled. So here n divided by n plus 2 will remain and 1 x will remain. Yeah, proper. I am sorry. It's proper. So here when x power n will get cancelled, x will remain, correct, and 1 n is there here and divided by n plus 2. Clear? Now what to do? I have to get this, see, when limit n tends to infinity, correct? You have to get limit n to the denominator. So in the if you check in the denominator, I have n plus 2. So take n outside here. Let that x be as it is. So when I take n outside here, I'll get 1 plus 2 by n. Cancel n and n here. N and n will get cancelled. Okay. So when I apply infinity, 1 plus 2 by infinity. What is 2 by infinity? 0. So 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 and 1 will get cancelled. Only x will remain here. Okay. You try to simplify it. It is easy. You will understand it. Okay. So I'll just write it if you want. So here n was there and here I have taken n outside. Okay. This n and n will get cancelled. Okay, I will go for the next problem, my dear students. Test for the convergence 1 plus 2 by 3 into x plus 2 into 3 divided by 3 into 5 into x square, 2, 3, 4, 3, 5, 7 into x cube plus so on. This is again a series, arithmetic series. So first write this last term. Okay, what you do is you write un, write this last term first. Okay, so I'll tell you how to write it. See, write 2, 3, 4 divided by 3, 5, 7. Okay, then put dot 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 dot. However, this x, if you check, it is x power n, no problem, fine. Now you worry about the numerator. So numerator, if you check, what I'll get? 2 I should get, after that I should get 3, after that I should get 4. So what I can write here? n plus 1. If it is starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, you can write n. It is starting from 2, so you write it as 2n plus 1. Denominator, if you check, 3, 5, 7. So it should be 2n plus 1. Into x was there, x power n. That's it, finished. Correct? Yes. Okay, and this 1 you ignore it. Okay, that summation, you for 1 you ignore it, don't worry. Then write un plus 1. So un plus 1 means what? Already n plus 1 is there. Again, if you write, I'll get n plus 2, and here I'll get denominator 2n plus 1 is there. Its next term means 2n plus 3, and x to the power n plus 1. Clear? So it will be n plus 1 into n plus 2, 2n plus 1 into 2n plus 3 into x to the power n plus 1. That is your nth term, n plus 1th term. Okay. Then un plus 1 divided by un. So this is my un plus 1 and this is my un. I mean, in the denominator it is there, so you have to just take it as a reciprocal. So what will get cancelled? So 2, 3, 4 up to n plus 1. So 2, 3, 4 up to n plus 1. Yeah, see here, n plus 2 divided by 2n plus 3 and 1x will remain. Now I'll apply limits. So I have applied the limits. As I said, this n should come to the denominator. So I should get 2 by n here. So take n outside here first in the numerator. So I'll get 1 plus 2 by n. And similarly take n outside in the denominator here. So I'll get 2 plus 3 by n into x. Cancel n and n here. So I'll get x by 2. Because 1 plus 2 by infinity is 0, 1 will remain. 2 plus 3 by infinity is 0, 2 will remain. So 1 by 2 into x, or simply I have written it as x by 2. So this x by 2, again x is there means obviously you have to write all the three conditions. So this is convergent if x by 2 is less than 1. This is divergence if x by 2 is greater than 1. And the test fails if it is equal to 1. That's it. Okay. Yeah, this is quite easy. If you go through all the problems carefully, you can do it very easily. Not a issue. Next problem. Test for the convergence. Okay, here what happened? Have they given you the summation term directly? Have they given you the nth term directly? Yes, very easy. They have only given you what is un. You directly write what is un plus 1 and simplify it. Correct? Yes. So directly they have given you un is equal to 369 up to 3n divided by 4, 7, 10 up to 3 into n plus 1 into 5 to the power n divided by 3n plus 2. Now you write un plus 1. So un plus 1, actually this is my un plus 1, this step. This is the intermediate step, not required. So first write up to 3n. n plus 1 means wherever n is there, you have to replace n plus 1. So it will become 3n plus 3. And denominator will become 3n plus 4, correct? If you replace n by n plus 1 here, so it will become 3n plus 4 into 5 to the power n plus 1. Wherever n is there, you replace by n plus 1. So 3n plus 3, 3 plus 2 will be 5. This is an intermediate step, okay? Just to write this, I am using this, that's it. So un plus 1 means first unth term should be there, un should be there, and then it's n plus 1th term. See, this is your n plus 1th term. 3n plus 3 and 3n plus 4 is your n plus 1th term. Okay. Next, un plus 1 divided by un you do. Which terms will get cancelled? 369 up to 3n. And here also 369 up to 3n will get cancelled. See here, 3n plus 3, 3n plus 2 divided by 3n plus 4, 3n plus 5 into 5. Now what to do? Will you go on multiplying term wise? No, don't do that mistake, my dear students. In the first bracket you take n outside. Again in the second bracket you take n outside. Same way in the denominator. See here, I applied the limits first, and if you check, I have written this step directly, but you can identify it. In the first bracket you take n outside. Okay, second bracket you take n outside. Third denominator, first bracket you take n outside, second bracket you take n outside. So here n and n will get cancelled, and here 1 n and n will get cancelled. So I'll get 3 plus 3 by n, 3 plus 2 by n, 3 plus 4 by n, 3 plus 5 by n. So what will I get? 3 by n is infinity, 3 by infinity is 0, so 3 will remain here and into 3 will remain here. Same way here, 3 and 3, everything will get cancelled, so I'll get only 5. 5 is greater than 1, therefore the series is what? Divergent. See, simplify it, you will get it very easily, okay, don't worry. That's what I said, you have to work it out by yourself, because if it was a board, I would have explained you step by step. Since it's a PPT, each and every step I cannot put it here, correct? That will be difficult also. So you only have to try it by yourself and then see what answer we'll get. Okay. Okay. Next problem here. Find the nature of the series. They have given you the nth term directly. We have to find out un and un plus 1. So by data, write down what is un. Write down what is un plus 1. This is the intermediate step. Yeah. So un plus 1 will be equal to, first write what is un and nth term of this one, 3n plus 4. Wherever n is there, you replace n plus 1. So 3n plus 3 plus 1, 4. So 3n plus 4 divided by n factorial is there. So if I replace n by n plus 1, I will get n plus 1 into n factorial. Correct? And x power n plus 1, it will become. So finally un plus 1 divided by un. So this is my un plus 1 and this is my un. Okay. Here I have written something here. Let me see if any students will ask me a doubt. I kept it as it is. I have not explained that why it is n plus 1 into n factorial. Actually here, one second. Yeah, if you check properly, if you replace n, yes, so 3n plus 4 divided by n plus 1 into x. Now what to do? Take n outside in the numerator, similarly take n outside in the denominator. So n and n will get cancelled. So I'll get 3 plus 4 by n divided by 1 plus 1 by n. If I apply infinity, 4 by infinity is 0, 3 will remain here and 1 will remain in the denominator. So 3 into x is simply 3x. Correct? So what will happen? 3x, again x is there. I don't know what is that x, whether it is less than 1, whether it is greater than 1 or whether it is equal to 1, you don't worry. So you simply write all the three possibilities. So the test is convergent if that 3x is less than 1. The test is divergence if that 3x is greater than 1, and test fails if that 3x is equal to 1. That's it. Okay. So go through the problems carefully. If you have any doubts or any confusions, please let me know. And these are very easy also. Okay. Okay. Next problem. Examine for the convergence of the series summation n equal to 1 to infinity n factorial the whole square divided by 2n factorial into x power n. Okay. So have they given you the nth term directly? Yes. Can I apply my Cauchy's root test here? Not possible. I'll get 2 by n here, and here also 2n factorial to the power n 1 by n, not possible. Always better to go for D'Alembert ratio test. So what is un here? N factorial the whole square into x power n divided by 2n factorial. Fine. Now replace n by n plus 1. I have replaced. See here, n plus 1 factorial the whole square into x to the power n plus 1 divided by 2n. If you replace n plus 1, 2 into n plus 1, so it will be 2n plus 2 factorial. Clear? Okay. Now, how will you simplify these factorials? Actually, if you check properly, what is n plus 1 factorial? It is n plus 1 into n factorial. Always. Okay. Okay. So first I will divide un plus 1 divided by un. I have written. Okay. Now which term will get cancelled? 1 x power n will get cancelled. Fine. Then what else will get cancelled? That is my question. Okay. See, I have written this step directly. I mean, I have cancelled x power n and I have written x. Okay. Now what to do? See here, see the simplifications. This is what I was talking about. So n plus 2 into n factorial I hope you know the property of factorials. I'll just write it here if you want. So n plus 1 factorial is simply equal to n plus 1 into n factorial. This is a standard result which you already know, but I am explaining again. So n plus 1 factorial, I can write it as n plus 1 into n factorial. Okay, so here if you check n plus 1 factorial, I have written it as n plus 1 into n factorial, and this denominator I have n factorial, its whole square. Clear? Okay. Now I'll go with this one. 2n factorial into x as it is in the numerator, but denominator, check properly, it is 2n plus 2 2n plus 2 factorial, not 2n plus 1. So it is 2n plus 2 into next term is 2n plus 1 into its next term is 2n. Correct? Means you go on subtracting 1 here. So it will be 2n plus 2, next it will be 2n plus 1, next it will be 2n plus 0, or simply we write it as 2n factorial. Hope you are clear with the steps. Okay. Now here n factorial will get cancel, 2n factorial will get cancelled. So we'll see what will remain. So n plus 1 the whole square into x divided by 2n plus 2 into 2n plus 1. Correct? Okay. Now what to do? Take n outside in the numerator and similarly take n outside in the denominator. So if you take n outside in the numerator here, I'll get n square into 1 plus 1 by n the whole square into x. And if I take n outside in the denominator here, so n into 2 plus 2 by n, and same way here one more term is there, correct? So n into 2 plus 1 by n. So this n square will get cancelled. Then if you apply limit 1 plus 1 by infinity is 0, so 1 will remain here, and 2 into 2, 4. So we will get x by 4. So whenever again if x is there, means obviously what will be the solution? It will be convergent if it is less than 1, if it is divergence if it is greater than 1, and if it is test fails if it is equal to 1. Correct? So go through this property, my dear students, carefully. N plus 1 factorial, I can write it as n into n plus 1 into n factorial. If I have n plus 2 here, I can write it as n plus 2 into n plus 1 into n factorial. Same way, if I have 2n plus 2, I can write it as 2n plus 2 into 2n. Okay. So here I have the last problem in this D'Alembert root test. Find the nature of the series root of 1 by 2 into x plus root of 2 by 3 into x square plus root of 3 by 4 into x cube plus so on. How to write the nth term? Is it not easy? Numerator it is n, denominator it is n plus 1. So it is simply root of n divided by n plus 1 into x power n. Okay. So my un plus 1 will be n plus 1 divided by n plus 2 into x to the power n plus 1. Now divide it. So when I divide that, un plus 1 divided by un. So this is my un plus 1 and this is my un. Okay. See this root, no root you can split. You can write as root of n plus 1 divided by root of n plus 2. And here also root of n plus 1 divided by root n. So root of n plus 1 into root of n plus 1 is n plus 1, correct? So, and denominator it will be square whole root of n into n plus 2. Am I right? Into x. That is what will remain here. If you check properly, what is root x into root x? Is it not x? Same way here. Root of n plus 1 into root of n plus 1 is n plus 1. Okay. And here x power n will get cancelled, 1x will remain. And denominator, what will remain is root n here and root of n plus 2 here. So I am writing it as totally whole root of n into n plus 2. Okay. Now what is the aim to apply the limit? You have to take n outside here. Correct? So what I'll do? I have taken n outside in the numerator, see here, n into 1 plus 1 by n, and similarly I have taken n outside in the denominator. But denominator there is a root here, so when I take n outside I will get n into n as n square. So when this n square comes outside the root, what will I get? Only n. Hope you are clear with this point, my dear students. See here, if you take n outside here, n into n is what? N square. So if you take n square outside the root, it will become n. So it will be n into root of 1 plus 2 by n. Cancel n and n here. Apply the limits. When I apply infinity, 1 by infinity is 0, 2 by infinity is 0. So what will I get? Only x. X is there, only x will remain. Okay. So then I can tell that the test is convergence if that x is less than 1. The test is divergence if that x is greater than 1. And the test fails if x is equal to 1. Okay. So these are all the problems of Cauchy's root test and D'Alembert root test. Go through each and every problem carefully. If you have any doubts or any confusions in these problems, please contact me and try to solve few more problems which are there in the question bank also. I had shared your question bank also, correct? So go through that and see if you have any doubts or any confusions in those and try to clear your doubts. Okay. So your one problem in module 4 will be of this one, either Cauchy's root test or D'Alembert's root test. Okay. So thank you. If you have any doubts or any confusions, feel free to clear your doubts. Thank you.